Let me ask you this. You sort of alluded to potentially some locker room issues, and we do our best to not get overly political on our podcast. We think people come to our podcast to escape those things, but a quick perusal of Caleb Jones's Twitter account shows you someone who is extremely conservative, maybe even conspiracy theory adopting, a little bit extreme on the right. And look, it's not to say you can't have any Republicans on your team, of course, but when you see some of the things that Caleb Jones is endorsing, that can be an issue in a locker room. And maybe it wasn't as big of a deal in Canada and as it is in Chicago, because that's
Yeah.
going to be, he's going to be asked about that. He's going to be asked about his beliefs. He's going to be asked about his social media feed. So I'm wondering, what sort of reaction do you see there? And was he in any way, shape, or form, to your knowledge, a problem or I guess you'd say a polarizing figure in the locker room?
No, you know what? To be honest with you, we never heard that. From all accounts, he was a good teammate. He was part of the young guys with Ethan Bear, Willie Legis, and they all kind of grew up in Bakersfield. They all played together there, and they all kind of found themselves on the big team. So, from a locker room aspect, I would be lying if I said he was an issue because we never heard that. What we do know is that on his Twitter, he retweeted. This is what it was. He retweeted a Seattle Kraken tweet because the big story here was that he was going to be left exposed and maybe Seattle will take a crack at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then from what we saw in the playoffs before the first game against the Winnipeg Jets, where he was kind of moping around at practice because he knew that Slater Cuckoo would draw in. Of course, the media, we found out after the coach did his presser that Slater Cuckoo would draw in for him after missing the last 3 months. So, I mean, no player is ever going to be happy to be taken out of the lineup, especially come playoff time, especially for a young player. So I just want to make sure that I'm being clear where we never heard anything bad about him being a bad teammate or being bad in the dressing room or anything like that. What we do know is that he retweeted a Seattle Kraken tweet, and that from I was at the morning skates, and yeah, there was a little bit of moping around there when he found out he wasn't going to be in Game 1 lineup.
A few more minutes here with Hernan Salas from TSN 1260, the Locked On Oilers podcast, and the two guys and